Hey guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Brawl Stars here on the 20 Fox channel. Today, we're going to be breaking down Piper. She's the newest brawler, immediately released, and she was already nerfed. She had her cooldown reduced for her super, 25%. Supposedly, it's supposed to make her cooldown a little bit slower to the table, but I have really not noticed it, and I have been running non-stop with her. Nothing that I'm going to say to you today is going to be truly groundbreaking. She is a fantastic character, and here is why. When you keep her at her maximum distance, she does 460 damage off the jump if you just keep her at her farthest. And that builds her super almost immediately. Basically, with two farthest shots, you can pretty much build up your super and one-shot most enemies, such as a ricochet or any really wounded enemy. She's mostly a support and crowd control in the sense that once people see her bullets, they want to stay as far away from her as possible. But like I was saying, her gun reaches 11.5 tiles far. 130 damage at its minimum range, making it one of the weaker next to Ricochet's 80 per bullet, and 460 damage maximum range, making her one of the more OP characters, like a faraway El Primo. And if I can get the point across to people that Piper is a El Primo sniper, would that get you to understand how dominating she can be? Her super, which is one of the best in tandem combos next to El Primo's, is that she launches herself up to 8 tiles away. When she does that, she leaves behind 3 grenades. They explode for 300 damage each, and their blast radius reaches approximately 1.5 to 2 tiles wide. We weren't able to get an exact measurement for that, honestly, because we couldn't distinguish where in the blast the damage was originating, whether from the size of it, the size of the blast and which length of it was what registered the most. But from what we were able to get, it's about 1.5 to 2 tiles wide, but they explode in an L-shaped pattern. And it's a very wide one, approximately 4 tiles in its own stretch, from the farthest one at the top left most often and the bottom right corner. There's usually going to be the drop as a top left, bottom right. If you were looking at a 4 square, if she would throw 4 grenades, it would explode in a square pattern, and with it being 3, you can get the mental image. That being out of the way, the things that you want to keep in mind with her is that keeping her far away is so redundantly obvious, but it is the only thing that really needs to be known about Piper, other than the fact that when you upgrade her, you are looking at a monster. I have her only at 2 level ups for her damage, and it already does 506 damage. I one-shot ricochets, and ricochets do exactly what Piper does. So for those of you who have Ricochet but not Piper, and you know that you're good with her, you know what I'm talking about, that you can keep enemies really, really far away from the objective. You can make an enemy forget about the objective completely because you can dominate so much space with Ricochet's bullets. Piper does the exact same thing. She is overpowered for the farthest range, and it is a beautiful sight in how quickly she can increase her super, but obviously the mismatch being that you don't want to use your super at any time other than a surrounded situation or an escape situation, and when you do, it is the most satisfying feeling in the world, guys. I will paint you a picture right now. You are charging in to take out the last enemy who has, let's say, 11 gems, and you know that you can kill them and pick up the gems before their teammates respawn, but you have to do it quickly. So you can kill the enemy from far away with her, or just damage them enough that a teammate can do the job immediately. Grab all the gems, and as the enemies are closing in on you, jump far away, leaving 3 grenades behind that do so much damage that the second you land, and yes, the second you land, you immediately can fire, and you shoot, and can kill so efficiently that your super is built up immediately to do it again. She can easily be the cycle brawler of this game if you know what you're doing. You can simply just get 2 to 3 shots on an enemy, try to flank behind them so that you can drop those 3 grenades directly on top of them as you fall back to your team. The highest recommendation I would have is the team that you're seeing right now. A Shotgun Shelly, a El Poco, I always call him El Poco, that is my love, and Piper. For the simple fact that the 2 cone shapes of extreme range for both of them, El Poco being that no matter where in his arc it hits, it will consistently do the same amount of damage. And Shotgun Shelly, whose cone shape for her buckshots is so tight that you can still do an exorbitant amount of damage. Those 2 together can easily finish off any enemy that Piper has just hit. And that is at any point within the game, most effectively at the very beginning of a game such as Smash and Grab. In games such as Smash and Grab, you want to be able to fly in, kill as many enemies who funnel towards the gem as possible, and you don't even need to kill them. You can just predict where they're going to be after the second game playing with her. You immediately know where people are going to go, and you can dominate. The map is not that humongous, guys. We're looking at a square at the very best, what, 50, maybe 50 tiles by 50 tiles, maybe 50 tiles by 100 tiles, excuse me. So there's not really that many angles for these enemies to get away from somebody who knows how to use a Piper. To use a Piper in regard to anybody else, you'd have to think about someone who's scary with Brock. And believe it or not, brawlers out there, there are people who are exceedingly nasty with Brock. And it's because they know where you're going to be. Those kinds of people will have an amazing time with Piper. I personally sometimes struggle with anticipation, so I have to sit there and wait for her cooldown, and being in the heat of battle, that cooldown can seem insanely long. But when you feel under control with her, you are under control with her, unlike any other brawler. And I have played with every single brawler in this game, and if you guys want, I can rank them from best to worst in another video. I'll save that for another time. But for this video, it's all about Piper and every single skill that you can run with her. The best combo being, as soon as an enemy is close enough to you that you can use your super to drop back, let them eat all of the damage. If they are not killed by your super, you can pick them off every single time with a simple shot, because your jump leaves you still within range of them. That is the beautiful thing about her, is that her super still leaves the enemy within range for the basic to finish them off. And that is what she's meant to do. She is meant to either drop an enemy down so that they can be one hit, or tolerate an enemy who can then be one hit. Excuse me. It was very painful to deal with that loss in game. But this band, we've played with a bunch of different characters for about 3 weeks now. Different combos of different people, and I will not speak for myself. I can speak for Adam and Vahan King. They are nasty with many characters, and I don't claim to be nasty with any character, even though I do love Piper. But after playing for a while, a meta started to form in our minds, or maybe it's not the best combo for everybody, but at least for us who play this game a lot, and we play this game together often, maybe not every day, but when we do, it's for hours on end. This is the team that we have that at the very least we ran very successfully. And I will admit to the fun coincidence being that most days that when we run with these brawlers, we get the green glitch. We run win after win after win after win. It's only when I'm trying to record, obviously, that we run into people that are very, very amazing. And I won't even say that we have bad luck. We just flat out run into people who are better than us, and we end up on their highlight reel. But lucky for us, the footage that we were able to capture for you guys so that we could bring you the best combination information for Piper this is what we want to do. And as you guys can see, she has a versatility different from everybody else in the sense that her close range is still not as bad as it could be. That being the 130 damage that she does up close. It is purely defense, but against certain brawlers, especially the brawlers who shoot in a straight line, it's a marvelous sight to behold. But guys, this is simply the only things you need to know about Piper, other than go out there and have a lot of fun with her and try to find a band that makes you happy, that you can keep playing this game with. And I'm 20 Fox. This has been another informative episode of Brawl Stars here on the 20 Fox channel, and I hope that all of you have a fantastic time, a fantastic night, and get brawling, guys. Oh, and one more thing. I want you to smash that like button until your finger breaks.
I ain't going back to being broke.